Om Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Yanamurtim Tvandvatidam Gagana Sadrisam Tatvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitham Trigunarahitam Satgurum Dham Namami. Nithyanandam. Today I want to tell you guys an experience that I had during the Paramashivoham Level 2 Batch 1 program as a participant. And this is one of those experiences where you know, oh, Swamiji is really taking care of me, you know. And he knows what he's doing. That kind of experience where you just have that deep trust, and from that space, that deep surrender into his space. And basically it was a power manifestation session, and we were asked to foresee what kind of video was about to be presented for us. And so basically they had a video that they wanted to show us, and the participants were told to sit and just connect with Swamiji, do the mantras, the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, declaring the oneness with Swamiji, Paramashiva. And from that space we were asked to just sit down and see with the head, neck and back in a straight line. Please also sit like this. If you can, put yourself in Padmasana or Sukhasana, whatever position is comfortable and stable for you. So basically I did have some vision. I did see some things in a very direct and immediate manner. So at that time I was just establishing myself, and then I decided, okay, let's go. You know, let's, whatever Swamiji is showing me now in that space, whatever is coming up. See, first of all, you have to close your eyes, right, when this is happening. You have to close your eyes, but also that inner eye, you have to close it, first of all, before you allow yourself to see anything. Before you actually are able to, before Swamiji is able to show you anything, you have to let your own mind go. You have to reach these higher states of consciousness by reducing the amount of thoughts that are going on in your inner space. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe he's showing me something like this, or maybe he's showing me something like that, you will have no chance to actually manifest that power. That's Shakti. And basically it's not easy just to turn it off. This is my point. It'll be clear for you in a minute. So I just sat down, I wrote down a few things. What I saw was like this. First of all, I saw Hanuman flying. So I wrote Hanuman is flying. The next thing I saw was like Rama building his bridge to Sri Lanka. So that kind of happened, very fast. I had, the space was clear inside me. I decided not to like not to visualize, just to passively relax into Swamiji, and whatever he is insisting, that image which is coming up in a high pixel, that you should write down. So that's what I did. And well, these things happened for me, and then I saw also an image of the Kalpaturu, and then the banyan tree in Adi Kailas. So this is actually an image from the live feed which is going on. There is a live darshan of this banyan tree all the time. So if you need energy, if you need a blessing with anything you want, simply you can actually just go to that website Nithyananda TV / Kalpaturu. Kalpaturu. So this happened for me, and I wrote these things down, and also I wrote a few things down which came up later. But these were the first 3 kind of real images that I got. Unfortunately, I threw out that paper, but I should have kept it for later use like this. Anyways, so I wrote down a few things, and then they showed us this video after that exercise had ended. And what was shown in that video, excuse me, was actually just like a standstill photo, and then a sound of an airplane flying. So I thought to myself, okay, I didn't get that airplane, but I did get a Hanuman flying, and for me, I'm not saying this is, this was a manifestation of that Shakti, because I wanted to see what was shown in that video specifically, so, but I recognized, okay, so everything is the divine, and that divine is also incarnated in Hanuman, so Hanuman flying is also like what I saw, like I thought to myself that was a little bit a consolation, but I knew inside that was not really, what I wanted to manifest. So I decided this, okay, sometimes it is very clear for me that something is manifesting, and other times some things are yet to manifest. But I did see these things in my inner space, and I did do the exercise in a right way. And how I know this is because the next day also we were supposed to do an exercise into that all-knowing space, and this Shakti is super for me, and I want to manifest. I want to flow in this space of Sarvanyapita, all-knowingness. But I did feel a lot of, I felt a lot of fear going into this, because I was like, oh, if I cannot manifest this, then I'm not able to, I'm still not enlightened, I'm still not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm still not integrated with Swamiji, I'm still not authentically expressing my truth. So this was kind of going on inside my space. I was like getting a little nervous actually, and a little tense. But I decided to go along with the exercise, but I could feel a lot of anxiety, and a lot of these negative emotions were coming up inside me. But Swamiji is teaching us the Tyaga, he's teaching us to just drop it, Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashivoham Parga Paramastu means I'll surrender this at your divine lotus feet, Paramashiva. But I'm a very emotional guy. I'm a very I have a lot of energy, and I have a lot of I have a lot going on inside me basically, and I'm enjoying. but not always able to control the tiger, not always able to sit and relax, complete no mind, and stay in that space. But I would try. I would whatever Swamiji is telling, let's do. Let's give it a shot. And so I dropped these things. I dropped this thing, and then the exercise was like, okay, we give you certain Sanskrit mantras, and then you translate. And I'm like, I don't know Sanskrit. I like translation actually. I do. I used to study Greek and Latin, and then do translation in the high school. But I thought to myself, this is no way of doing a proper translation, I was always like beaten by my teachers, like, oh, this is not the precise right word that you should use, like, oh, maybe you use this word and then this way, and then all that kind of fine tuning of the translation, which I really, really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that kind of work. Also, it would frustrate me a lot when I couldn't get the words right, and all this Latin and Greek are very difficult languages if you're not really speaking Italian or Spanish or French or these kind of languages. It'll have to be like you have to, it's like a little different culture. There's a little culture shock. From the Germanic root, we speak Danish, that we can do. But so I'm a little language nerd. I'm a freak about this. I like translations, and I would get like, oh, now my skills are coming up, like, oh, can I translate this, I wanted to like do a good job, but as I saw, I just immediately looked through these mantras logically, and then I chose one in which I knew the most words, because I'm doing a lot of Sanskrit mantras, chanting and all this, so I have a small understanding. Like, it's growing, it's not perfect at all, and it's not really any kind of it's not useful for me if I have to do translations. Actually, I would sit with a book and study a long time, but like logically, I just chose the one which was most likely for me to be successful. So this I know, this word I know, this word I know, and that was not really the exercise, you see. But I wanted to manifest, like some words right, I wanted to have some kind of experience. So that greed was there, and fear also of not failing, of not doing it right. So actually, this exercise again presented me with these same kind of emotions, these negative emotions, because I got a little more, irritated now, because now I don't really I don't get this, because nothing is coming up for me. I'm using my logic mind. I'm even cheating, I felt like that I'm cheating this exercise because I can't really, I just depend on that logic, which I know, I know this word, I know this word, this probably is like this, I was not doing it right. I was not renouncing really the logic mind, or that inner space, which is like going on, chattering and talking. I was not able to reduce my TPS, basically, and connect with Swamiji in a proper way. So I actually got very frustrated at the end of that exercise, because I didn't do it right, and I want to perform very well. I want to do good in everything that I do. I want to excel and be, I feel like I should do the best I can do, but sometimes I feel like this is not good enough. You have to do better, and ever since my childhood, I would get upset. I would throw a tantrum. I would be like, at that time, actually, as a young kid, I would throw all kinds of things around, like I even do that sometimes still, because these emotions are very deeply engraved inside me. I'm completing, but I'm learning more and more about where this is coming from. I'll not go into this at this point with you, but a lot of frustration, anger, and resentment was presenting itself in my space. And then I decided, no, I'm quitting this now. This is too much. I'm not doing it right. I'll end this mantra. I chant the puja, the ending of the mantra, the Purna mantra inside me, you know, like resting into the truth, which is that everything is already whole and total. But I was not complete. I was not feeling complete at all. I was not in a very good space. Actually, I was very, very angry with myself and this exercise, and you know, and the fact that I was not able to do the Shakti, which really meant a lot to me. So what happened was that I just went inside the other room. I just lay down. Actually, I went to sleep, because this is one of the things that will make me, you know, keep quiet, both outside and inside, you know, like just go into that deep sleep, you know, where no thoughts exist, just fall in sleep, you know, go down, reset the computer, you know. And so I woke up a little later, and then we were about to have a darshan of Swamiji. So at that time I had a partner who was doing the exercises also with me here in this Kailasa, this ecosystem that I'm creating in Denmark. And then she was actually very kind to wake me up and tell me, hey, Swamiji is coming now, you cannot throw tandem no more, you have to come and sit, you know, like be awake. And you know, like she was really helping me a lot. But at that time, you know, I know nothing can really help me, you know, like only that supreme oneness experience of Swamiji inside me will actually be able to calm me down. So yeah, very reluctantly and very incomplete, not expressing it, but just, you know, keeping it all like under tight lock. I did not want to talk. I did not want to, like, short words, all this kind of negative, empty, not good space I was carrying. I sit down, and we're getting ready to meditate, to reach lower and lower TPS and to thoughts per second, and relax, so that we can receive Swamiji, you know, so we can receive his energy, so that we're not just wasting the time. Not being in a space of completion where Swami is able to transmit this energy. So what happened actually was that at that time I was very incomplete, and I sat down, and suddenly I see, like, they're still talking about some video, they're showing some video on the screen, and I see immediately a story about how Hanuman, how Rama, and all this is happening. I was seeing the exact same thing. I tell you, this is not the exact same thing. This is not the very picture. This is one picture that I found on the Google. But I saw that exact Hanuman in that video graph. You know, like, and it matched completely what I had seen before. I'll just show you again, just for you to have the darshan of Hanuman. I was seeing this, you know, about Hanuman flying, and then I started to see, oh, now Rama is building his bridge, you know, and all this was going on, and I was still like, come on, Swamiji, are you serious? Are you for real right now? You know, how can you do this to me? You know, how can you show me the day before this exercise and this tantrum what I need to see for me to fall in complete alignment with you? How could you do this? How could you be so insightful? You know, how could you foresee that event? But Swamiji is all knowing. Simply, if it needs to be, you know, happening, that this completion inside me needs to happen, this was the only thing that could actually bring me to that space of receiving his darshan, you know. As that darshan was, I should have printed a darshan picture of him, but that picture was him in the form of Muruga, you know. So that perfect, you know, manifestation of Sadashiva, you know, he has 5 heads. And I talk about this sometimes, the generation, the generation, manifestation, the operation, the very maintenance, the sustenance of everything, Like you have the Big Bang, which is like a physical manifestation of the manifestation process, the Satyotya aspect of Shiva, and then the Vamadeva aspect, which is like Vishnu, and then he's operating everything, sustaining everything, maintaining everything, and then that Agora phase of Shiva, which is destroying everything, which I am relating a lot to, and then the Tatpurusha, the one who puts us into delusion and liberates us, and then that Ishana aspect, that liberation aspect of the divine. And these are the 5, but Muruga has the 6 heads, because he even is a manifestation of that 6th component, which is unmanifest. So think about this a little bit, how Muruga is like the perfection of Sadashiva, and how I had such a yearning towards Muruga. This was even one of the reasons why I went for Swamiji back in 2016. He was going through satsangs on Muruga, and how Muruga was the embodiment of that perfection, and how he was like able to was Lord of the alchemy process, how he's able to manifest all the powers and all this. I really wanted, you know, like to validate and to replicate this in this body also. So yeah, Muruga means a lot to me, but I was not able to receive him in that space. So Swamiji simply showed me what I needed to see. Like, okay, you are manifesting. Relax. You are complete. I am with you. This was the feeling that I was getting when Swamiji showed me that Hanuman and that Rama and the building of the broad. And then we were entering into that darshan. I was simply so blissful. I was so happy and waiting to see him, you know. But then the red curtains are drawn back. But then there's another videograph, you know, like of the Kailas. No, first I think it was like first it was this banyan tree, the exact banyan tree, and then it went into that cave, that little cave which is there. Do some research about this. This is very interesting if you're a devotee of Swamiji, how this is all very auspicious, how that video just zoomed into that cave and then it went into the Kailas and everything, you know. So all these things that I was seeing the day before this tantrum that did not match with that exercise, now I was seeing finally, and this time it completed me much more than it would have done if I had gotten it right, you know, this power manifestation, because this was so emotional for me. This was so like a deep wound inside me. So this is what I want you to know, understand. These Bhava darshans, these different darshans that Swamiji is giving, embodying different dimensions of Paramashiva, the whole thing, they go and complete different aspects, different kinds of things inside of us. And I can tell you, like, honestly, I have never experienced something like this before. Like this amount of this fulfillment which reaches your innermost, deepest being. When that being is being, when a light hits that spot, nothing else matters, you know. So please understand, I'm talking of the Ananda Gandhar, talking of the supreme connection with Swamiji. When the light of consciousness, the light of cosmos, that superconscious light reflects on different chakras, and then it completes you, and you enter into the Ananda Gandhar. There will only be Swamiji. So this is my message for you guys today. If you have not attended this Paramashivoham program, level 2, like, you need to do that. You need to do that. You don't know how much you need it. I met Swamiji before the great pause, his great samadhi. Now I feel I need to see him again for the first time. Like, this is my only real 2 things I want, you know. I want Kailas, Sri Kailas here on the Bhuluka, on this earth. I want it to be manifest and complete. and then I want to see Swamiji one more time, at least one more time. Be in his presence and be at his feet. Now I'm already in his presence. I'm at his feet, but you understand, his Divya Sarita, his manifestation of that light body, that divine light body, is actually physically with me now. I was invoking him in the beginning, but please understand, I love you, Swamiji, but I just have one more wish, and then everything else is like small things I don't really need. But I want to be with you one more time, and I want to live with you for the full amount of your time here on earth, and then I want to be sure that everything else is also being, completed as you wish in the future. But this is my deep desire. You completed me in such a way that no being could ever, only the supreme oneness, only the all-knowing of everything was able to go this deep. So for that I have eternal gratitude, and I give you my Tyaga and my integrity to Swamiji, and I want you guys to do the same. I want you guys to feel that same bliss, that same ecstasy, and that same fulfillment. So all I want to say to you guys today is attend this Paramashivoham level 2 program, and let Swamiji enter, receive Swamiji, and be one with his being. So thank you so much for listening. Be blissful and enjoy everything. Nithya.